Is Scott McGregor a reliable source for video gaming views and opinion? Mr. McGregor has repeatedly went on record saying that his Rabid Scotsman persona is up for sponsorship grabs to the highest bidder, even to Doritos and Mountain Dew.
Mountain Dew is all I drink. I'm not kidding. Water? What the fuck is that?
Scott McGregor has also stated that he sees no issue with Twitter contests run by video game publishers in which tweeting a hashtag could win him a PlayStation 3.
I still don't have a PlayStation. I'll fucking take one. Free's one of my favorite prices, so that's fine.
He's also been known for his loose morals in other situations too.
I love Burger King. I'm hungry. I'm hungry right now. I'll sign.
Scott McGregor. Video game commentary and coverage will always be number 2, because he's always looking out for number 1.
You're damn right. I'm the best I know.
The content of this ad has been paid for by Gamers for Journalistic Integrity.
Draw your sword, knock your arrows, and ready your spellbook. It's time for another episode of The Gamesmen. What role will you play?
Greetings, guys, gals, and guildies. Welcome to episode 92 of The Gamesmen. This is the show for the week of November the 5th, 2012. I am Steve Conger, also known as JSS Lyfeliek, on basically every gaming service imaginable. And you know what? We're cutting through the formalities this week. We're just going to introduce who's here. Once again, Daniel Natman, Hardlydan.
Hey man, how you doing?
Oh, you sound like shit.
Yeah, I feel like shit.
Either
sound like you feel like shit.
Oh, you sound either like really suave or half dead.
Yeah, it's both.
Throw a James Bond line in there. Just...
I can't think of any at the moment.
You can really sound anything. You can say anything, I guess. It could sound like it. I mean, something about pussy, right? I mean,
shaken, not stirred. Sick, not diseased. I don't know. Oh, and as you can hear, Scott McGregor, Rabid Scotsman.
I'm not guilty. I'm a guy and a guilty.
All of it. And up until 7 years ago, I was a gal too.
That would mean my wife married a woman. Would be interesting.
Oh, it's pretty good.
I'm a closet lesbian. That's
God.
Be up front about that.
Oh, so Dan, how'd you get sick?
Well, I had to go and visit a hospital yesterday, and the tablets I take basically knock out my immune system. So I guess someone in the hospital was ill, which I suppose is kind of unsurprising,
it's
it being
a hospital.
So yeah, I picked up something there, or maybe a few days before, I don't know, but I feel rotten.
You know, like, whenever I have to go to the doctor's office for something that is not contagious, it's almost like I can hear the germs, like, crawling in my nose and all kind of other shit. I hate it. Oh, I hate it. You know, because you know you're going to come out of there, and then they're going to get you for another co-payment, because you got to go back because now you're sick, because you went to the doctor's office.
Yeah, I was fine till I came here, damn it.
I have been sick twice in the last 6 years.
Wow.
Just gonna go ahead and say that. I'm very, very happy about that. The bad thing about that, though, is that those 2 times are the sickest I've ever been in my life. I mean, it's fucking awful. I just slept for like 3 days straight. Shaking and crying in the fetal position.
The bad part about it was meningitis. Oh my god. Yeah, so what's going on with you, Scott? What's new this week?
Nothing. Since Guild Wars, that's it. I mean, that's all I do now.
All the Halloween stuff?
I can't believe I did all that. I didn't think I'd do it all. It's like, oh, I don't really care about this. And 2 days later, I had everyone. Every achievement.
Yeah, I couldn't. I got close. I think I got the 75 pumpkins carved out of 150, and
but then that last tier is another 75.
I know, and there aren't enough out in the world. I mean, you got to go into that, whatever that Mad King's dungeon thing is to get
whatever. Yeah. Well, they finally respawn for me. I think they respawn once every 2 or 3 days.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, that would have been kind of cool to know that if I'd started earlier.
What did you think about the Mad King dungeon? That was.
I only stayed in there for a second, only because like having a group that is completely uncoordinated is not fun in there.
the labyrinth or the actual dungeon?
The actual dungeon.
Did you do that?
Dungeon.
No, I didn't do that. No, I did the labyrinth. Yeah,
that was like a great shout out to previous. To Guild Wars 1 Halloweens. It was pretty cool. Like he kind of played Mad King Says with you, but then he was just a dick.
Yeah.
He's like,
he played it with,
and like he opens the door and a bunch of things rush you and start beating the crap out of you.
Yeah, I played it with Gary and Phil.
Okay.
From the guild, and then Phil had to go and he was burning his tea, so he had to go and eat that. So Gary and I just did it with the two of us, and kicked ass. It was awesome.
Nice. It was hard to do as a level 15 or 20, whatever it was at the time.
Well, everyone gets leveled up to 80 when you go in, but I guess your weapons are going to be.
Oh yeah, I mean my weapons and the 3 skills I had were just shit. So, but I don't know. The actual event itself was kind of disappointing by comparison, I think.
Yeah. Oh, did you try the clock tower jumping puzzle?
I actually really liked that. Yeah, I got
that thing was a pain, man. I didn't, but at the end when I saw everyone was getting slippers that I couldn't use, I thought, you know what, I'm not going to bother.
I managed to get medium armor slippers somehow out of it. And I said, fuck it. And but then it wasn't until like the whole event started the day of that everyone was saying you don't need the clock tower achievement to count towards the emissary of the Mad King title, and I was like, well, damn. But it was fun anyways. Like I really enjoyed it. I tried it a lot of times, but it was fun. I'm a sucker for those jumping puzzles.
Yeah, I do like most of them. You had to be so quick on that one, like.
Yeah, because it's got
quick
that chasing you up the tower, and skeletal hands are trying to grab at you if you get too low. And,
God, not good for the guy with the wireless keyboard.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, the worst thing happened twice. I was climbing up that thing, and I got up to the last staircase. I was just about to jump to it, and the overflow queue pops up and says, "Would you like to join the right?" No, you're kidding. So I'm trying to see around it and not screw up because it's right behind me. I fell into it twice, so I wasn't happy about that. I was like, just leave the queue. Oh God.
Oh man, no, I didn't get that deep into it. I've been actually kind of preoccupied. Work's been crazy, and working overtime and stuff. And then when I get home, I've been wiped out. And actually, I think there was one night where I think I went to sleep at 8 o'clock and didn't wake up until 5 in the morning.
Wow.
Yeah, I just knocked out, man. It's been rough. And then this, obviously we didn't have it as bad as everybody on the East Coast with old Hurricane Sandy. But, we had, steady rain for 3-4 days. And man, just being out in that all day, every day, and with the wind and everything, it was just so bone chilling, man. I would come home and just collapse, man, crumple up. So yeah, things have been kind of nuts, and I am still sticking to my guns that I am not buying any games this year because I got to save money for my Wii U, and that's it. So actually, speaking of, I went up to, and no comments from the peanut gallery. I went up to GameStop the other day and took my $5 off of my pre-order for Assassin's Creed 3. Okay, so I took it off. I took it off of Assassin's Creed 3 because I figured everything that I had for pre-order, I might as well just put on my Wii U, right? And they actually had a demo station up there. And
oh, really?
Yeah,
for the Wii.
For the Wii U, yeah. So I got a chance to hold it and just play around with it.
I'm just gonna clip that from the show. By the way, just that.
I got a chance to hold it.
And just play around with it. Yeah.
Follow a vein, see where it goes. And,
oh my God.
Now, so I go in and I was talking to the guy, and I said, "Oh, I didn't even see. I walked right past it." I said, "You guys got a demo station?" He said, "Yeah." He said, "The only thing you can really play is Rayman," and I just kind of wasn't too interested. So I went over and I picked up the tablet controller and was kind of holding it. It feels pretty good. It's not bad. I mean, it doesn't feel too weighty. It's not overly heavy.
Sink into it. I mean,
yeah, it feels pretty good. But I gotta say, like, I can't remember what the exact resolution of the screen is on the tablet controller, but it looks pretty sharp. Looks nice.
At least 480, right? I mean,
yeah, I would think so. I would think it's probably actually something like that, like a 720 by 480 or something like that.
Yeah.
But it looks pretty sharp. I'm kind of impressed with it, and it has on there you can navigate through a bunch of videos and watch videos of the games and stuff, which is kind of useless. But
hopefully that's not the sign of things to come.
I know.
The controller's kind of useless, but it's fun. I mean,
no, the fact of having videos and nothing to play, really. Like all the stuff that I want to tinker with, I can't. And Rayman, okay, yeah, that's cool, but give me New Super Mario Bros. U, or give me Zombie U, or give me something like that. Like, that's the stuff that I want to play. That's the stuff that I'm interested in, the asymmetric dynamic of gameplay for that,
The combining of the two.
Yeah. Like, I mean, that kind of gameplay really excites me. Like I feel almost like, and I know this is kind of corny and not to the same extent, but I almost feel, Scott, like the way we felt before the Wii came out, where you're like, man, I've gamed for 20 plus years, and this is something that I've never done before, and I'm excited as fuck about it.
Yeah. Well, and it doesn't hurt that Nintendo clearly feels that way too. I mean, in all of their promotional stuff, they just sound pumped.
Yeah.
About it. Yeah. So and then that inadvertently gets you pumped about it too. And so I don't know. I'm a sucker for that kind of shit. I'll probably buy one. It'll be the next console I buy, I'm sure.
Well, I mean, and say what you want about recycling intellectual properties and things like that, and New Super Mario Brothers 65 and you know what I mean, like that kind of stuff. That's fine. I like that stuff, but I'm excited about what they're bringing to the table, and I think it will be pretty neat. And I think overall, I am getting kind of pumped and hoping that a lot of stuff is in the red box.
Oh yeah,
because I know I'm probably only going to buy probably Zombie U with it, and that'll probably be about it.
But I'm waiting to see what new titles are coming out for it before I commit to anything on it. But because I'm not really into all the Mario 65 or whatever.
Yeah.
It's all right, but that's good filler. It's not necessarily. I don't know. I don't think it's something that they should build on. Their entire foundation, but.
Well, I mean, I do like a lot of the ideas that are in Zombie U, and I think that's why. I mean, even though it's a Ubisoft game that is, Ubisoft launch games are usually, for just about anything. But, the kind of things that it does, like, using that as the scope for your sniper rifle and holding it up to the TV and doing all these things that we've talked about for a long time that you should have been able to do with Vita, that you should have been able to do with, the 3DS and all that kind of stuff, Like, there's actually going to be some kind of hard concrete proof to see if it actually works and if it's interesting. Like, that's what I'm excited about, is to see, is it what we've been waiting for,
Yeah, well, and I think that's kind of the way we felt, like you said, just before the Wii came out. Because I was still kind of skeptical when I was plugging the damn thing into my TV. I'm like, is this even going to work?
Yeah.
And it did, and I was so psyched about it back then.
I did see the Wii U branded Wii Motion Plus Wiimotes and nunchucks and stuff. The packaging is different. No.
Wii was said entirely too many times in that sentence for me to not be comfortable.
I know. But I've seen them with the little U on top of the box and stuff. So they're out. Okay. And we're only a couple of weeks away, really, now.
Are we really?
Yeah. So I kind of excited.
I forgot all about it.
I mean, me going on this this personal stance and not buying any games.
Me?
Yeah, me. Yeah, me. Going on this sort of personal stance and not buying any games this fall. What made it a lot easier was most of the stuff that I really wanted to play got pushed into spring of next year. So,
yeah. I was gonna say you're really not missing much this year. Like the only things that I was really looking forward to was Darksiders 2 and the reimagining of Devil May Cry.
Yeah.
And Darksiders 2 did come out, and I still haven't had a chance to play it. And Devil May Cry was pushed in the next year. So
yeah, Darksiders 2 is a Steam sale thing, I think.
Yeah, I don't have a choice. It's got to be a Steam sale thing.
Yeah.
I can't
Well,
afford
you know
it after.
what? Like I think a lot about Darksiders 2 on the Wii U because I remember at the end of Darksiders, and I'm not technically at the end, but I'm only probably an hour or two away from it, how much I had to go in and switch my tool mapping to my buttons and stuff. Whereas if I had that tablet, man, it might be slick and quick. I don't know.
I mean, they're going to take a page from the Legend of Zelda stuff from for the Wii U, I'm sure. And be able to switch all that stuff out a lot faster.
So what's going on with you, Dan? Has your sick ass been able to play anything, or?
Yeah, well, I played my extra weekend of Extra Life.
Oh yes, how did the snuggling of the trucks go?
I didn't manage the full 24 hours. I played it for as long as I physically could, which ended up being 15 hours. And
I was going to say, like, you were at least 13 deep.
Yeah, there's a crap ton of snuggle truck. I hate that game now. It was quite cool on the stream, though. I had one of the guys from Alchemy Labs watching, and he was giving me tips, and I was like, oh, damn it, I can't play it now.
Should have got him on Skype. That'd have been great.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I was going to tell you it was easier if you got Obama's head in the back of the truck.
Yeah.
Cuts down on wind resistance.
It makes it like a penny racer.
Yeah. If you go fast enough, it takes off.
Oh, I wanted that Obama head out of that claw machine. I can't even tell you. I spent $10 trying to get it.
Oh,
I tried to pick it up by the ears.
Of course he did. The biggest part.
I did. My mother retired on Friday, finally. And, for good, supposedly. And we went out to dinner. And, I mean, nothing fancy. It was just a Haas's steakhouse, And we get up there and we met my sister and my brother-in-law who won the game, which, I ordered for him the other day, the Extra Life winner. And we were sitting there, the kids were there, and my niece, she's like the whole time she's staring at the claw machine, And I'm like, I don't have any cash, man, on me at all. And I'm like, I know she's looking at it intently, And so a 36-year-old man goes over to his father and says, "Hey, you got a couple bucks?"
Quarter pops. Oh shit!
So I did. I got a look at like a little white tiger out of there for her. So she was all excited. But yeah, I don't know. But anyway, Dan, sidetrack.
Yeah, that's all right, man. I finished it off with some Guild Wars 2, surprisingly.
Really?
Yeah.
I haven't seen
really
you
enjoying that game still. Yeah, well, I've had a busy week recently. What with having to drive for a blood test,
getting sick and everything.
Cold. Yeah. I did download the Smart Glass app the other day.
Oh, did you? Did you get a chance to tinker with it?
Not really, because I don't have any games that support it. So that was a waste of time, really.
I mean, does it do anything outside of any games that support it?
Yeah, you can use it like a controller. So if you're sitting on your sofa, you can, use that as or I could just use a controller, I suppose.
That's true.
I'm not a gold member, so I can't use Internet Explorer on it. I'm not entirely sure I'd want to anyway. But when you do that, you can turn it to its side and use it as a keypad for text entry. So that's kind of nice.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I'd kind of like to try it, but I'm not going to buy any games, so it's not going to happen, really, is it?
That's the future. Using all your slim devices to talk to all your other slim devices and take other slim devices with slim devices. And
It's a really great idea, but
it's a black slab future.
No good for me at the moment. I might pick up Forza Horizons at some point.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Seems I'm giving up the old 360.
It actually works with that?
Yeah. You get to see the map, and you can put waypoints on the map and stuff like that. Apparently, so it could be cool. And the other game I know it works with is Halo 4.
Oh yeah. Now, see, if they were smart, and I'm not esteeming myself any greater than anybody else, but
but they are smart, so go ahead.
That's just the way to open a sentence.
Their stock clearly shows it. Okay.
Not coming from quality loins. If that were me, and Dan, we've talked about this before, I think, having an Xbox controller that can slide apart and tuck like a device in, whether it be portrait or landscape, and slide that back together and be able to ratchet it in there and use that right in the middle of a controller, like an Xbox controller, would be the shit.
Well, like a 2-part Xbox controller.
Yeah. That'd be great. Yeah. Cool. I mean, you would have to have some kind of way to run that app, whether it be wirelessly or whatever. And I mean, obviously it would take way more connections than you would need, but it'd be nice if there was just some kind of like mini USB, sort of connector for the controller to go right into to your phone to utilize the app. But
and this is clearly like Xbox's early answer to the Wii U, and it kind of leaves you thinking, why didn't the Wii just let you hook up your
iDevice or your
tab?
Yeah.
Why not? That'd be easier. People have already got one of those. You don't need to buy the extra peripheral for the one on the Xbox, at least. So
I mean, I think their thinking is that their whole console with a tablet costs the same as you going to buy an iDevice, and then you on top of that you have to go buy an Xbox and everything else.
Still, it's like kindergarten out there. We can do it too.
Well, I mean, I think you're gonna see a lot of that, and I'm actually anxious to see what goes on with
thing. I mean, that's how good new ideas are born in this industry, is competition. I mean, but if everyone's just going to follow everyone else's idea, I don't know.
Well, I don't know. It depends on what really happens with this next set of consoles too. Did you guys see the other day that I guess the successor to the PlayStation 3 is supposedly running on an AMD like A10 APU, so it's going to be like a CPU GPU combo.
Oh,
yeah, they've been talking a lot about that, and it is actually, I guess, codenamed Orbis, like everybody had heard.
It's codenamed Dorcas. What did you say? What did you call it?
No, Orbis.
Orbis. Okay, I
Orbis.
Dorcas, and I don't know why. What you doing there, Dorcas? Playing my PlayStation.
Oh man, yeah, but I don't know. It's funny. It's gonna be crazy to see what happens with Windows 8 and the Xbox Infinity or Loop or whatever they're gonna call it now, and whether or not you're gonna be able to play Xbox games on a PC, because that could totally change the roadmap for what I'm gonna buy next generation.
Definitely.
So, I mean, it's kind of crazy and exciting all at the same time. But
kind of worried that they're going to hijack, your hardware, and it's just not going to be utilized as well if it's something that's that they're going to use through your PC. I think that's my number one concern. Basically like owning a Mac.
Yeah. Well. It would seem, if all the indications are correct, I mean, if you use Windows 8 the way that it's meant to out of the box, it's kind of about that closed and shitty.
It's not looking good, no.
But anyway, let's get into a voicemail that we got in, and talks a little bit about Extra Life and some feedback from the last show from one Luis Ramundo, and you all know him as Danak.
What's up, the Men of Games? This is Danak here. Just trying to do a real quick recap of my Extra Life 2012. I want to thank everybody that participated and donated to the cause. I still have 1 or 2 donations coming in, so it ain't over yet. I did exceed my goal, so that's pretty exciting. I'm proud of that. I did have a couple of hiccups at first because I planned on streaming the whole 24 hours, and I couldn't get the sound to work. It wasn't until like hour 17 that I figured how to do that, but by then it was too late. It was choppy because I was playing at my brother's house. That day he had his birthday party, and since I told him that I was going to go and I said that I was going to do the marathon, I just decided to do it at his house, at my mom's house, which was it was a little complicated because I had to move all my stuff over there. But not only that, there was a lot of kids running around, so it was a little annoying. But it was all good. No biggie. I did plan on playing the Nintendo Wii for like the first 8 hours, and then the Xbox 360 for the second half, and then PlayStation for the final 8 hours. But I just couldn't get the whole connection going on with the video capture card, and wires going everywhere, connecting to the TV, to the monitor, to the computer. It was just a big fucking mess. So I just said fuck it, and I did PlayStation throughout the whole 24. One of the games that I played was Need for Speed: The Runs. I finished that in a sitting, and then I moved on to Fight Night Round 4. I did that for a while, and then I got bored of it. And then I played some Borderlands with my brother, which that was fun. And then I did some Final Fantasy 13 -2. I beat that. Didn't get a platinum on it, but I'm still working on it. And then I played some Black Ops Zombies. Did that for quite a bit of the night, and then I moved on to Borderlands again with Steve and somebody else from the team. I did that for a bit. I must say that I couldn't finish the 24 hours just because some of the kids stayed over at my mom's house, and I was eventually just kicked out because they had to go sleep. So I was only 3 hours shy, and I finished it last weekend with Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater. I played that for like 5 hours straight because I got a platinum on it, my 40th platinum, I must say. So with those 5 hours, my marathon was complete. So it was pretty exciting. I know what to do for next year, and it was a great learning experience. That way I can, share it with everybody else. Well, one of the things that I want to say that I don't recommend people doing, I went out the night before, like I went out with my buddies drinking, and I thought that I could handle it. I just need a couple of hours sleep and wake up. Well, that wasn't the case. I only slept for a little bit. I woke up and I did the marathon, and by the following night I was just beat. I was just dead. So that's one of the things I won't be doing next year. I'm gonna get my full night rest and then do the 24 marathon, straight through. So if anybody's thinking of doing that, I don't recommend it. One quick last thing on the last episode of the Gamesmen. You guys were mentioning Abraham Lincoln, the what is it, vampire movie? I actually saw that in the theater, and at first I was regretting it because it's a little regretful, and at the same time it's like a guilty pleasure because you're like, really, he's killing vampires? And but some of those scenes are just crazy. I mean, it is filled with CGI, like 80% of the movie. But at first I thought it was a zombie movie because apparently there's another movie on Redbox. So there's a zombie movie, and then there's a vampire movie, and then I think there's a new one coming out. I saw the previews the other day. I think he's killing leprechauns or werewolves or something. I don't know. There's so many of them that it's hard to keep track. But I mean, that's cool. He's a fucking badass, so he can kill anything, I guess. One last thing, The Walking Dead. I must say that the ending, it just leaves you like hooked. I mean, it's kind of hard not to spoil anything, but Steve, I can see where like there's like little hiccups on the choices you make right after you make them, like when the storyline continues. That's becoming more apparent. But yeah, I'm looking forward for the next episode. Well, that's it, guys. That's all I have. I want to thank everybody again, and I'll mention everybody's names, but Bongo already did that. So, all right, guys. Till next time.
All right, so the voicemail, first off, Denok says, that he did his 24 hours for the Extra Life Marathon, but he didn't do them at home. It's hard enough at your house, let alone somewhere else.
Yeah.
Why? Was there a reason for it? I didn't hear a reason.
No, I think it was because it was his brother's birthday or something, and he promised he would be there.
He didn't want to miss it. Okay, all right.
Yeah. So, and then kids running around. Oh my God, there's no way.
Well, what are you playing? Do I play? No, you can't play. I have to play.
Yeah.
I'm being forced to play these games. Go away.
Yeah, it's a Korean animation studio.
Yeah. For just pennies a day, you can feed your 24-hour Denok.
But I know what he's talking about with the streaming kind of going south a little bit. I tried to do... And Pat, NDRkey89 on Twitter, Pat Lavelle, he said that shitty video is better than no video at all. So I said, okay, you know what? He's kind of right. So let's just do an off cam, an off screen cam. And then I couldn't get the Skype interaction to work and all kind of other crap. And I just said, you know what? Nope, done. Yeah,
it took like an extra 45 minutes that day. I think everyone was having issues with it.
I don't know. It's the
weird. Curse of Extra Life. You're never going to get to stream the damn thing.
No.
I stream for 6 hours at a time sometimes. No problems for weeks. And then Extra Life pops up and you can't do a damn thing with it.
I know. No, it's terrible. But he did get his 24 hours done, so, kudos, even though you had to stop early a little bit and tinker around. But, as long as you fulfill your 24 hours, that's pretty good. And
with a great game, too. I haven't played Metal Gear Solid Snake Eater. What the hell's the title of that game? Metal Gear Snake Eater in a long time. That was great with all the different camos and shit. I loved that one.
Yeah, I hesitate to say that might have been the best one out of all of them.
Definitely.
But yeah, I mean, and he's 100% right on. Don't go out for drinks the night before. I mean, I thought that was understood.
It takes me like 3 days just to sleep prep.
I know.
For Extra Life. I couldn't do anything the night before, man.
Don't get a fever and infection the night before Extra Life, probably.
Yeah, that's probably a good one.
Oh, yeah, and as far as the show last week, Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter is kind of a guilty pleasure. That's probably a good descriptor for it, because
it's pretty good.
By the time you're done at the end, you're like, oh God, I can't believe I watched that.
I feel dirty.
Yeah, but you're like, I can't believe I watched that, but it was kind of awesome. So, yeah. But if there is an Abraham Lincoln Leprechaun movie, I want to see that.
Leprechaun.
I do. I didn't even know there was anything like that. But if he's going around killing leprechauns, I want to see that shit.
That pot of gold will be mine.
Be great.
Have you seen the Leprechaun films? There's 6 of them.
Oh, you know what the best one was Leprechaun in the Hood. Like Leprechaun 4. When he said, a friend with weed is a friend indeed.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's the best. I think Ice-T's in it and shit.
Of course.
Yeah, it's great.
He's in everything. I mean.
Shit's great.
Was it him that was in, what was it called? Hunted?
Manhunt or something, yeah, I can't remember. It was something like that, yeah.
I'd watch that one again, actually. It's the only one I can think of him in, actually, right now.
But he finished up talking about the technical issues in The Walking Dead, and to tell you the truth, and you guys know, because I was concerned about this when I first started playing the second episode, and to tell you the truth, the access time to sort of read the page file to learn your decisions and to see what assets to load and things like that, I don't think it's gotten any worse. I was afraid it was going to be a lot worse, but it seems to be right about the same.
Yeah.
I think. I mean, and obviously, technically, the game is not stellar on transitions and the speed of loading, those assets in and stuff, but I'm telling you right now, it's still going to be pretty high on my list at the end of the year.
Huh.
It's great. It is more than I ever expected, and I never expected to pick it up at all until I watched the YouTube video of the first episode, and then I plunked that $20 down, and I don't regret any of it at all.
I need to catch up on the season still.
Yeah, you got to do that. Actually, I finished issue 72 of The Walking Dead. I got through book 6, and now I need to order book 7, and I'm not sure if book 8's out yet. But man, if any of this stuff that happens in the prison, that whole story arc, if most of that happens in the show, holy crap, it's gonna be great.
I was gonna say it was a comic book first, right? And then
yeah, that's what I've been reading. It's
a graphic novel, however you want to put that.
Yeah, it's so much different, but it still kind of follows along the same lines. But they have taken some liberties on the TV show, and the TV show is pretty great, and can't wait to read more of it.
Hey guys, gals, and guildies. It's Greg DeLacy. You also know me as Murphy Ball. Just chiming in with, kind of a recap of Extra Life for me. So, Extra Life was interesting. I mean, I had a good time. It was definitely a struggle to get through it, especially, I think, by the first 12th hour. I was fighting it pretty hard, but that also probably was because of my not necessarily best planning in the world. As you may or may not know, I had to travel out of town on Sunday morning to Chicago, and so I thought to myself, well, the best way to do this Extra Life event will be to do it Friday to Saturday, and I further thought, well, if I start at 8 o'clock Friday evening, I can wrap it up by 8 o'clock on Saturday evening, get a decent amount of sleep, come Sunday, I'll be fine. One problem. I didn't think or factor into the fact that I was going to be up Friday working, and actually got up at 5 o'clock in the morning on Friday, and never thought to take a nap or sleep before the event. So come Saturday evening, I was beat, to say the least, and I pretty much crashed out right around 9 o'clock and slept basically all the way till about 7 o'clock the next morning, down all the way through. As far as the games I played, got some Madden in, got XCOM in, got, Battlefield 3 in, Borderlands 2, and Mark of the Ninja. Was trying to wrap that up. I'm just towards the end of that, hadn't quite finished it out. And just overall had a blast. Was able to raise a crazy amount of money this year, more than I ever thought, and a big part of that was just due to everybody in the community, because let me tell you, even before my really big donation, which came at the very end of my donation time period, I had already beat my previous year goal of $1,300 and had over $1,700, and then had a very large donation from Denise Garcia, and that's actually part of a charitable donation foundation, and they gave me $1,000 towards the event, and we're trying to keep that going for next year. So anyway, needless to say, it was awesome, it was fun, and thank you to everybody and anybody that dropped me a line, wished me good luck, and also just jumped into games and kept me awake. That's it. Extra Life is in the books, and looking forward to next year. Talk to you later.
All right, Mr. DeLacy, thank you very much for the voicemail, and man, what more can you say? Greg kind of rocked out the fundraising, didn't he?
Yeah, well, he put us all to shame.
He showed us the size of his manhood.
Yeah. He whipped it out, slammed it on the table, and the table just broke and buckled under the pressure.
After he beat us with it.
I know. Oh, man. So, yeah, but I know he had talked a lot about, how tired he was and everything, and he was going out of town to flying out to Chicago on a business trip on Sunday, and had to start a little bit early. So he started at 8 p.m. at night on Friday night and went till 8 p.m. on Saturday, which, oh God, I can't even imagine. Oh,
yeah, with
no way.
Actually, no sleep beforehand.
Yeah. It was up at 5 a.m. It just, oh, man. Yeah, well, but like you said, Scott, I kind of do the same thing. Like, I start to prepare for it, and I'm sitting there going, okay, well, maybe I should go to bed just an hour earlier tonight.
Yeah.
Or sleep for one less hour tonight, and then maybe sleep a little bit more tomorrow, and literally wake up at like 7:28 in the morning, and then get ready and hop in the shower and make sure that I'm at least clean for 10 hours of the whole thing.
Yeah, I like try and lose an hour or two of sleep like the 2 days before, so that like I know I can sleep for a long time and get really well rested the night before the actual event.
Yeah, and you talk a lot about staying up yourself and things, but the best part of it is like different people popping on and wanting to play different stuff, and keeping your playlist fresh and just really having that interaction to kind of keep you going.
Yeah, see, like the playing the games for 24 hours, that's not hard. I can do that.
No, it's not hard.
It's the staying awake that kills me.
It's kind of rough, and for me, it's funny. Like even on my days off now, I'm up at 5 in the morning and I'm just laying there with my eyes open, just being conditioned from work, and it's funny that 5 in the morning after being up all night is the time where I'm like, oh God, time for bed, and that's when it just starts to drag, and I can't imagine. Like, being there at 4 p.m., 5 p.m., and you're like, oh, God, only 3 more hours. And it's starting to get dark at the same time,
Yeah.
So, you know what? There was something else I kind of wanted to bring up. I was working yesterday, obviously delivering the mails. And I saw I saw some little postcards, man. And they were like the Jeffrey P. Cover and Andrew Owens versus Electronic Arts Incorporated. What? The class action litigation settlement thing for buying the GameCube, PS2, and Xbox versions of their sports games. So they sent all these out to people, and the front of the cards just said class member. That's it. So you don't know who it was or anything like that. But it said something about the proposed settlement being reached in class action. And, Dan, I think didn't we talk about this a while ago? It was like an RPG question where you could get X amount of dollar, like $2 and something for a game or something. Yeah. Crap. It's like worthless, but I was kind of, interested that they were sending those out yesterday. So, just a little update that it's still happening, even though no one's going to probably capitalize on it. But anyway, did you guys happen to see any of this stuff about Robert Florence?
Yeah, old Rabs.
Any thoughts?
He's absolutely right. There should be some kind of divider between the PR guys and the people who are meant to be reviewing these games honestly.
Yeah.
And it seems like, that's for a lot of the big reviewers out there, it seems like they're just getting all this free shit to leave good reviews.
Well, and okay, now just as like us, it's pretty easy to get bitter. And God knows, Scott, you remember how depressed I was about this whole thing like a year ago, or like the beginning of this year, about all this venom and the negativity and all this stuff. And it's easy for us to say, man, that dude's on the take, or they're all on the take. But by the same token,
they are.
This is some pretty serious shit.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. A supposed journalist, tweeting a hashtag to win a PlayStation 3 from someone that she could potentially have dealings with in the future?
It's not on. But we've got to be careful what we say, because apparently she's quite litigious.
Yeah, well, it's a little bit different over there in the UK than it is over here.
Yeah.
Yeah, you really can't prove libel over here. You got to go to great lengths to prove it over here. But
did you say fictitious? Because that we do.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, and that kind of hit the same time as the Jeff Keighley Doritos and Mountain Dew fest. Like he's like like Scrooge McDuck swimming through a sea of Doritos and shit.
He looks like he just wants to die. Like, where am I? Is this like he just woke up in that place? Like they drugged him and propped him up in full of chair, pulled the bag off.
No,
you're hearing you're doing this. No, what? Oh.
Like he's stuck in like Jerry Sandusky's holding cell basement or something, you know. And I don't know, man. He just either he, and I guess it's just screen capping a video, but still, I mean, he looked like he was constipated or something, man. You know,
right, too many Doritos will do that to you.
But is part of it our expectation? Are we expecting too much from these people morally?
No. I mean, movie reviewers, they don't have the same kind of incentives. They just go to the cinema, they'll have a free screening of it, but that's it. Okay, they might get to go to the odd red carpet event and premieres, but it's not like they're sitting there getting props from the movies and crap like that. Why should it be any different for video games?
Do they really believe that statuettes and little crappy trinkets can buy somebody off? These marketing people?
People pay for it, right? I mean, the special editions of games, people pay $20 extra for this shit. Yeah, of course it'll buy them off.
I guess so. I mean, is $10 or $20 worth your integrity? I mean,
well, I mean, I guess it depends on who you are. It is to some people.
I guess $10 or $20 over X amount of multiple games every year, maybe, but the whole thing. So essentially, in a nutshell, you can't trust the smaller sites that will put a review up, a positive review, just to make sure that they get early copies in the future. You can't trust the big sites because they're on the take, and you can't trust the individual people because they will just tweet hashtags all day.
You can trust me. I hate everything.
Yeah, it's true.
I'll tell you why I hate it, and if you don't hate it for the same reason, you might like it. I don't know.
Oh, I don't know. There's part of it that makes me just want to secede from like the whole thing, man. You know, just like, I'm not so much tired of hearing about it. I'm tired of hearing about the sort of dirty undercarriage of the industry, if that makes any sense. Yeah. So, and one other thing I kind of want to talk about a little bit. What do you think about Disney buying LucasFilm?
Well, they did Marvel justice, right? I mean, people are still putting out, so I mean, you know, why not? Nathan Fillion for Han Solo. Let's do it.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah. We could do that. We could do that. Nathan Fillion for every role out there.
Yeah,
how about that?
Role. That's fine.
Yeah, including Leia.
Yeah. Oh, no. I will.
Nathan Fillion, Jar Jar Binks. Oh God, I started watching that the other day, and I'm just setting myself up for disappointment again.
Right?
Fuck.
Like, okay, when I figured out it was gonna end, it was because there's like 14 shows in the.
Yeah, 14 episodes in a movie.
Like 10. I was like, fuck it. I don't even want to be disdisappointed. It's perfect. I'm just going to walk away. So I've never
so
like
sad.
11 through 14 on the damn thing.
So sad.
Yeah.
Oh, but anyway, episodes 1 through 3 were, I don't know, man, Lucas didn't do them any justice. I mean, do you think Disney can?
Well, they can't make it any worse, can they?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, exactly.
I was talking to somebody about this the other day, and they had said, and it wasn't anything about this, it was about Star Wars, about how much I hated episodes 1 through 3, and the girl, she said, well, episode 3 was pretty good, right? And I said, it was okay, but, when you take it down to a base level, it still all culminated in, no! Like, that's how it ended,
well, I'm going to just say my piece with it now, if you guys don't care. I mean...
Okay.
Lucas created this thing from scratch that, I mean, he clearly didn't have a whole lot of background on. Like, he didn't know what year it was. He didn't know what aliens came from what planet I mean, it wasn't, like super, super deep. It wasn't this, like, the novels he had written for a series of years or anything. But then he had a fan base that latched onto it and loved it so much, it started to create backstories and started to create backgrounds for all the characters and stuff. And there were tons of books written and whole bunch of just fan service, and then he just kind of took it all and shit on it. Like, I don't know, like, it just kind of, it kind of felt like he just pissed in those people's eyes. So, like you said, it can't be any worse, right? I mean, all they could do is do it more justice, I guess, technically, at this point.
Yeah, and the rides could be pretty cool.
Yeah, that's true. A themed restaurant in Disney World, sort of built like the cabin of the Millennium Falcon. Huh? Anybody?
Yeah, or the bar in Mos Eisley.
Oh,
yeah. Oh, it's going to happen.
Now you're talking. Oh, God. To me, it could be kind of cool to give somebody else the directorial freedom to kind of do something with Star Wars. And it could be interesting, especially all of the expanded universe stuff that is out there from authors and things like that. It could really be pulled in. You know,
Disney's already got more imagination than Lucas, so I guess that's a win, right?
Well, yeah. And all you got to do is pull out some Pixar cogs and place some things back in, and I mean it has the potential to be awesome. And like you said, I mean they've done pretty good by Marvel so far, and it kind of is what it is. But the funny thing is like, I mean, when you think about 4.08 billion or whatever that was, or for LucasArts or Lucasfilm, I should say, you're talking LucasArts, you're talking Industrial Light and Magic, you're talking Lucasfilm Singapore. I saw before, and I didn't even know that existed.
Those are the ones that make all the little toys for pennies.
No. Speaking of Korean animation studios and stuff, but yeah, so I don't know, and interesting nonetheless. It'll be interesting to see, where they take most of the IP and things like that. So, Scott, one last email, a little bit of correspondence from Mr. CP Matthew.
From Mr. CP Matthew. He says, "Greetings, guys, gals, and Postman." So the new podcast app on iOS 5 sucks. Wi-Fi, donkey, nuts. You're surprised. I set it up, automatically download all of my podcasts and deleted the episodes I have listened to. What that setting actually seems to do is nothing. I still have to go in and manually download all of my podcasts and delete the ones that I've already listened to. The new podcast app is kind of like the U.S. government for the last 50 years. Isn't he in the army? Can he say that?
Yeah, he's allowed.
Hunt him down? No, that's China. Okay, that's he goes on.
He sees the dirty face of it
every day. Every day. He says, "Why not just replace what works with what sounds good?" Yeah, that's kind of Apple's MO, isn't it? I mean,
and government.
And government. Okay, yeah, true. Yeah. Anyway, political rant off. The Gamesmen are going away? What the fuck?
Yeah.
I get it. I took a few weeks off podcasting when my first son was born. It doesn't take long to settle into a routine and find your new normal. Congratulations, Steve. That is great news.
Yeah, thank you. We are pretty excited. Yeah, we're pretty excited. There's just too much time in editing and recording and all that stuff that just could be spent better elsewhere.
Yeah, well, and you're doing it all too.
Yeah.
Anytime you want to guest on the Overseas Connection, feel free. I will go ahead and speak for Greg there because he doesn't really run things the way he thinks he runs things. Law. Been playing a metric shit ton of XCOM. I've been hearing that's good.
Yeah.
One question I have to him too before I finish the email is how long is it? Because I've been hearing of some people just burning through the campaign and it's over. Anyways, tweet that at me later. I'm on the last mission and I think I'm about to get hosed. Anyway, have good mosh pitting. Good mosh pit.
Good mosh pitting to you.
Thanks, CP. Appreciate it. Yeah, there's been a lot of that going away WTF stuff I've been getting lately, but it kind of is what it is. Fun run though, and it's still kind of going on. We're kind of on the home stretch, so I'm excited.
Yeah,
I'm pumped. So, obviously, thank you to everyone who emailed and voicemailed in. We appreciate it. Like I said, I don't care if we do email, voicemail shows for the rest of the time. I want to hear from everyone. So,
definitely.
Yeah. So, Dan, any diseased shout-outs for you this week?
Yeah, well, I saw DJ Leroy whilst I was down in Plymouth and went and had lunch with him and the Mighty Dave, so hi to both of them.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it was good. I felt well. It was nice.
For a second. Scott.
You cannot stop me. Get out of chopper. Let me get all of that out.
Probably not.
Oh God. Amris, Mr. Amris, playing some Guild Wars with him and Dan too. Been showing me the ropes a little bit on a couple of questions I had there. Mr. Garwin, he's in there. Mr. Azul, he's been hanging out too. Whole bunch of people were in the TeamSpeak playing League of Legends the other day. I'm not sure who all those were. Common Troll and like 4 or 5 other people were in there playing. So
yeah, and all in the wrong room.
Well, no, I meant like yesterday, but
okay.
Yeah, that happened too. I started kicking people out of channels and moving people around.
Well, the funny thing was, everybody's in the Guild Wars 2 channel. They're all playing League of Legends, so Dan and I just went down to the League of Legends room and played Guild Wars 2.
I came in going, what the hell is this? And just started playing cleaning the house in there, man.
Don't you understand labels?
How about you, Mr. Steve?
For me, number one, I should have shouted out Amherst last week because he sent me a message right in the middle of recording, and he said, tell everyone I said hi and everything. So there you go, Gary. I was a jerk. I wasn't very attentive to your needs, so I apologize. Also, obviously, all the emailers and callers. So thank you all very much. My wife, who has had like some excellent meals ready for me when I come home from work this past week, which sort of attributed to full belly falling asleep syndrome. You know,
it's that roast instinct, right? It's
oh yeah,
in.
It is kicking in. I like it. I like it. Oh yeah, we had a roast today and had some Chipotle barbecue pork chops the other day and all kind of crazy stuff. Man, it's been great.
Nice.
And, of course, VGHub.net. There's a great wealth of gaming content over at VGHub.net, so make sure you check it out. I'm sure there's something there for you. Web for the week to come, Rabid Scotsman.
Twitter. And Steam. Rabid_Scotsman. That's it. I mean, I'm always there. And then, of course, if you got the TeamSpeak info, you can look us up there, too. Just shoot me a message on Twitter or something. I'll get you the info if you don't have it.
Cool. Daniel, web for the week to come.
As ever. Actually, I'll probably be in bed for the rest of the week. So if I'm not, I'll be on Twitter. Hardlydan on Twitter. And probably some Guild Wars 2, just for a change.
Oh, man.
That's what I like to hear.
And possibly my local doctor's surgery if this doesn't clear up.
Yeah. Well, could very well be. Web for the week to come. What's the IP address of your local doctor's office?
Oh, they don't even have Wi-Fi there, man.
It's pretty terrible.
There's no cell reception. There's nothing. I was just sitting there going, crap, should have brought my Kindle. How about you, Steve?
For me, it is JSSLIFELIKE pretty much everywhere. That's Steam, that's Skype, that's Xbox Live, that's PSN, that's Twitter. That's, yeah, you know, and I think Guild Wars 2, I am JSS Lyfeliek.7546, I want to say, I think. Pretty sure. Not that anybody plays that game, though.
Steam, X, Fire, you can just keep going, I mean.
I know, because I've registered for everything. And by the way, I did register today and tweeted you guys for Marvel Heroes, the sort of Diablo-esque Marvel Heroes MMO free to play. So it would seem that the requirements are kind of low too. So I think like a dual core processor and an 8800 GT maybe.
That's the trend lately.
Yeah. So should be good for maybe a bunch of people. Maybe go over and register. The alternate costumes look pretty cool. You know, like they have like Storm in her sort of mohawk costume and
nice.
Things like that. Yeah, so neat stuff. Go over and check it out. Also, since Dan's kind of ill, I'll pay the bills this week.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, I wanted to make you do it, but then I figured, whatever. All right, so check us out on Facebook, you know, for these last 8 shows that we have left, and then like the month over Christmas and the Game of the Year show. So Check us out on Facebook. There's been a bunch of good conversation sort of started up over there. We've posted some threads from the forums up there, some discussion, some good discussion, and obviously also all of the shows via MP3 and YouTube. So yeah, there's that. Check us out on Facebook. We want more voicemails. Call the RPG hotline at 412-267-RPG1. That's 412-267-RPG1.
It's 412. No, yeah. That's the late night infomercial version where they shout it at you 6 times.
Exactly. Crazy knife guy, sword guy. You can also email us at thegamesmanrpg@gmail.com like Mr. CP Matthew did, or if that's not your thing, you want to shorten it up a little bit and you want to do a couple quick fire things, the Twitter account is twitter.com/thegamesmanrpg. And we had one new follower this week, the Ben Landis. So thank you very much. Appreciate it. You can also check out our YouTube channel, youtube.com/thegamesmanrpg. No new subscribers this week, so get on that. And also, 8 shows left, guys. That's it. 7 shows in a game of the year, which I still haven't decided whether we're going to do like corny gag categories or if we're going to do real stuff. I don't know. So I thought maybe the last game of the year show should be like the worst shit of the year. I don't know. All right, gentlemen. Well, thank you very much. That'll do it for episode 92. So on behalf of the Rabid Scotsman, on behalf of the terribly ill Hardlydan, I am Lyfeliek. We're the Gamesmen, and until next time, we ask,
what role will you play?
Not fully satisfied with this podcast, please return any portion for a full refund.
Free's one of my favorite prices.